Hello everyone, welcome back to Optimizevony. Today I'll be talking about a topic that is near and dear to a lot of my fellow low coiners, free-to-play players, people who are just trying to have fun and not spend a bunch of money on Evony, and that is how to get stamina for free. Stamina, as you guys all know, is one of the most precious resources in the game because if you're not coining, if you're not spending a bunch of money to get, packs and stuff like that, you need to use your stamina to rally bosses, get those speeds, get resources, get gold, get anything that you can get from a boss monster to advance. And so today I wanted to explain all of the ways that you can get stamina for free. But before we get into that, I did want to just give a quick shout out to please hit the like and subscribe button on my channel. I am trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and I'm most of the way towards my goal. So if you can help me out, and it'll also help you out because you guys will get a nice notification when I post new videos. But back to the video. So how do you actually get stamina? Stamina, is, as I said, one of the most precious resources. I just joined a set of bosses, with all my marches, and I went through like 200 stamina packs. And I'm sure a lot of you guys are like, "Oh, you have plenty of stamina here." Uh, right now I do. This is a good stamina time for me, but it has been dwindling a little bit. I think 2 or 3 weeks ago this was over 1,000, so I've been working my way down pretty aggressively. It's been a really great event for that with the pumpkins and the all of the normal bosses. Ymers always take at least 5-10,000 stamina every day and stuff like that. But so let's get actually into how do you actually get stamina. Obviously, the first way is you regenerate it. So every 240 seconds, you regenerate stamina until you get to 100. And that caps at 100. So once it gets to 100, so if I get 3 more stamina here, it's no longer going to regenerate. So it's capped out. So one of the things is always try and keep this below 100 so that you are actually actively gaining stamina. It doesn't help a ton, but it does help a little bit, and so if you're a low coiner or a free to play player, this will help you get in a couple extra bosses. Um, there's also a talent that helps you regenerate stamina faster. This one here, which I believe at level 4, I don't have this activated obviously, but at level 4 it looks like you'll get 40% stamina regeneration speed boost. That's not going to give you that much. We all know that one stamina every 240 seconds, which is every 4 minutes. Even if it's 40% faster, that still is not enough to grow. So, when you're hopefully joining bosses that are being set every minute or every 5 minutes or 10 minutes or whatnot, you need to have a steady source of stamina to survive. And so one of the nice ways that they released recently is the limited offer. So this is available during most events, and you can find it in the valuable event section here, and it'll give you 50 stamina, and this will be for free every single day. It'll also give you some additional stuff here. Sometimes it'll give you research stones, things like that. But it's a nice free way to get stamina. I also use it on my alts because my alts, are also struggling for stamina. I use them to join Ymers for resources, and so they're this is essentially at least one or two yimmers. So that's really great. But then the other kind of the main way that I would say you get stamina is from this levels or this six hammer box, and you can get four stamina per time that you activate it. And so I actually always hope that this one doesn't takes a long time to pop. Most people want, their eggs to pop in, you know, after you crack them twice each time. That's basically the minimum that you can have, and because they want that to they want to get the overall rewards here. But I actually think, I mean, those rewards are great. I do want those, but if I can get a couple extra smashes on this egg and get, some more 400 stamina, that's great. I mean, this doesn't always drop, so unfortunately, you might only get 400 stamina a day, or maybe it's 800 stamina a day, but that still is a really, really good way. And if you are actually using that stamina, you should have plenty of hammers to be able to smash these eggs. So that's a really good way there. One of the ways that used to be a little bit better, but kind of is not quite as good anymore, is this or this five wishing coin lucky apple, which can give you one stamina here. It also gives you a lot of other really good things. Obviously the dwarf pie, that has gotten those rewards have gotten a lot better. So I would recommend you do kind of run through all of your apple or your witch pies, so that you can get as many of these dwarf pies to go and find on the mysterious witches on the map, and get those good rewards. But this also has other good rewards besides the stamina, the march speed up, research stones, refined stones, uh, you know, all good stuff. But unfortunately, the stamina is only 100 stamina, so it's not really gonna break the bank there, and it's not really gonna get you a ton. I'm sure there's some people who would much prefer to uh, get the speed ups here, and this is something that I've been kind of debating myself. Is, oh, okay, like I mostly use the stamina for bosses to get speeds and to get other things. Like, should I just go straight to the source and just try and get speeds here? I mean, if I get 10 days of speeds for, three of these lucky apples, I mean, that's gonna be one of the best trade-offs you can get in the game. But you could also get, you know, 5 hours of speed ups, which still is not bad, but it's not going to get you more stamina there. So then, in addition to that, there are additional events, like the events that happen in between the main events, where you can trade in whatever it is that event, but basically it'll allow you to do different quests, and it'll allow you to get 600 stamina each time. That event is not actually going right now, so unfortunately I can't show that. But uh, it'll basically be during the non-event time, you'll go through here, and there'll be an event where you can donate, and you can join bosses, and you can uh, do other things to get points, which then you can trade in for resources and stamina, and refined stones, and things like that. So that's another good way to get stamina. But then, kind of a tried and true method to get stamina is to actually, since when you're rallying bosses pretty aggressively, you're going to be getting a bunch of Hydra chests, and Hydra chests have these uh, these chips, and these chips you can use in the Wheel of Fortune, and in this Wheel of Fortune you fairly regularly will get stamina. So, I mean, let's just go through a couple things here. I probably won't won't get lucky and actually get it. Oh, look, there we go. So there's 100 stamina. So a couple bosses and I basically get 100 stamina back. And there was another 50 there. So that was 150 stamina. So that was kind of well worth our while there. And so if you're running really low, I would recommend spinning the Wheel of Fortune. Most people probably have kind of an absurd amount of spins available. So if you're running really low on stamina, you can always spin the Wheel of Fortune and kind of reload your stamina up to a level where you can kind of keep going on the bosses and stuff like that. Because again, keeping aggressively hitting bosses is going to be the most important thing uh, for your development in the game, especially if you're not spending a lot of money. And so the other thing that I would recommend is if you're joining bosses and if your stamina is at a premium, be judicious about the bosses that you're actually joining. So, for example, this one's a really good boss. I want to join this. And it's worth spending my stamina. This one's also a good boss. I'll also join that one. But, if there's like a boss, boss 7 or, some smaller boss that still takes, 20 stamina to join, but you're really not getting as much out of it, I just wouldn't join it. I typically don't join a lot of the smaller Vikings. Even though I need a lot of gold, it's just not really worth it for the stamina that you're giving away. And so, uh, if you're very low on stamina, I would recommend kind of rationing it and only joining the bosses that are going to give you the most bang for your buck. So I would really recommend saving those for Yimmer days, and you can use them on Hydra days because, again, as I just showed, if you're rallying the Hydras, particularly Hydra 2s and above, you're getting these Wheel of Fortune chips that you can then essentially turn into more uh, more stamina. I guess Hydra ones also will give you those chips. So that's actually a pretty good trade because those ones are only 20 stamina and you still get 500 chips from it. So and that you can get double drops there, so that's 1,000 chips. So that that will allow you to essentially ru run this, you know, at one time. So every boss, you might get back more than you actually spent in terms of stamina if you're doing Hydra days. So then the other way, and the way that I actually get the most of my stamina from, is during the resource consumption event. So for those of you that don't know, basically there's consumption events that alternate. Currently, we're in the speed up consumption event, which basically allows you to trade speed ups for resources, and actually a lot of resources. So for those that are short on resources but have lots of speeds, this is a good way to get some of those resources back. But the alternate event, the event that will be coming next, actually, so you can start preparing your resources and saving it up for the next event, is the resource consumption. And so every level of the resource consumption will also give you resources back. So it's basically like, you're getting savings on what you're spending in terms of resources, but it'll also give you rewards like stamina back. And so there's again multiple different tiers of the resource consumption event as well. And so if you're getting to uh, the 20 billion resources of each type, you are getting a significant amount of stamina. It's like it's over 100 stamina per resource, and so that will tide you over until the next the next resource consumption event. And that's how I'm getting most of my stamina. So I used to be very low on stamina always. And this at this point I'm doing actually pretty well. And that's mostly because I'm able to max out that resource consumption every time to get get that stamina back so that I can then use it again and essentially kind of reinvest it in running bosses and getting those speeds and getting those tactic scrolls and resources and things like that that I actually need to do the next resource consumption and to do the speed consumption and all of that. So it's kind of a continuous, you know, cycle that's running. And so you kind of have to get into the cycle to be able to keep perpetuating the cycle. So if you're not able to hit some of the upper levels of the resource consumption, maybe you only hit like the lower levels and then you save your resources for the next time so that you can hit a higher level and you can get more resources back and you can get more stamina and you can get more speeds back because in the resource consumption you also get a bunch of speeds which then you can again use in the speed up consumption. So it's kind of this, you know, just this cycle that once you get into it, you're able to kind of perpetuate that motion. Um, so those are kind of the main ways of getting stamina. There are a couple other ways. Um, Obviously, you know, you can buy packs. Packs will have stamina in them. Uh, I mean, this one gives you 1,000 stamina, but you know it's $5. So I I don't think that it's necessary to buy packs for stamina. And if you do, there are packs that are better for stamina than others. There so when the event goes to the so right now it's power increase on my server, but when it gets to the monster killing event, you can get the essentially this pack up here. This one's not the right one. This is a power increase one. But when it's the monster killing event one, it has a ton of stamina in it, and it's one of the best packs in terms of stamina for the price. And so that's where you can that's where you can use your money effectively if you're running really low on stamina. The other thing is during Yimmer days, there's an additional pack that they give out that gives you additional double drop in addition to extra stamina, which is also a really good pack. I'm not advocating buying either of those packs unless you're already planning on coining and you're just very low on stamina. But yeah, so those are kind of the main ways that you can get stamina. If you kind of get into a good groove of using these events to actually get stamina, you can keep it going, and you can kind of basically have a nice system where you use stamina, but then you it replenishes during the resource consumption and these other events that happen. If you ever get really low on stamina, you can always buy stamina. If you run out of, you know, the 50 stamina, it'll give you an option to buy it here. Um, and there's also, if you get very desperate, there is stamina that pops up here. Sometimes for buying, it's not going to pop up here for me, but it does give you an option to buy it with gems. Um, it's kind of expensive, but if you're really direly needing stamina, that is another option. But yeah, that's all I had for you guys today. I hope you like it. Please let me know what you think in the comments. And as always, please like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton. I'll see you in the next video.